Welcome, everyone, to the Motherhood on Balance Summit. I am your hostess, Mara Watts, and joining me is the amazingly talented Bev Feldman. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're here. So I'd like to share your bio, share who you are real quick. Bev Feldman is a mom, jewelry designer, blogger, freelance writer, and author of The Busy Mom's Guide to Creativity. She believes in the freedom and beauty in immersing yourself in creative activities, even when you think you lack the talent, time, or creativity. On her blog, she helps women develop the skills and confidence to make beautiful jewelry that brightens the lives of those around them. Bev lives in the Boston area with her daughter, husband, and her cat, Leo. You can connect with Bev on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram, and check out her blog for tips and tricks on making beautiful jewelry with ease. That's amazing. Hey.
Hello.
Yeah. So, Bev, can you explain a little bit more about you and what you do and your jewelry and your book? Just tell us everything.
Yeah, so I make minimalist, eco-friendly jewelry for everyday wear. And I've been making jewelry. I started my jewelry business in 2011, but I've been making jewelry for as long as I can remember. And in fact, basically my whole childhood, looking back, there's a lot of creativity infused into it. And it's only been more in my late 20s, early 30s that I've come to recognize how important having that creative outlet is, especially now that I'm a mom. So my daughter is currently a little under 3.5, and I've had my business since before she was born. And I've realized that having that creative outlet has been really, really important to me in terms of finding that balance as a mom. I'm mostly a stay-at-home mom, so we spend a lot of time together. And I actually really look forward to working on my business during her nap. Like, she goes to bed and I just hit the ground running for 2 hours if I'm lucky.
Right.
Get those 2 hours in. I work on making jewelry or writing blog posts. Even doing my Instagram posts uses a little bit of creativity there. And so, as you mentioned, I wrote a book called The Busy Mom's Guide to Creativity. And the impetus for that was, like I said, after I became a mom, I really recognized how important that creative outlet was for me. And talking to a lot of other new moms, it seemed like a lot of them felt like they were losing themselves in motherhood, especially the moms that I met who were also stay-at-home moms. Oops. Sorry.
Hashtag motherhood, right?
I know. I thought I put that on vibrate.
You were totally fine.
Let me put that on vibrate now before that happens again.
No worries.
Oh, goodness. Yes, motherhood. Watch next to be like that BBC video. My daughter.
Yeah, the British guy. Oh, I know. It's just a matter of time.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Anyway, so as I was saying about the book, I realized how important that creative outlet was for me, and I felt like talking to other moms, there was a lot of guilt associated with wanting to do things for themselves. And I think more so, I saw it more when our kids were really young, especially like I know for myself, I felt like my daughter was awake when she was really little, that I was supposed to be interacting with her nonstop. So if I wasn't talking to her or singing to her or reading to her, even though she was too little to really respond, I felt guilty. I was like, I should be doing more, but then I was like, but there's this is kind of boring. I mean, she's not, unlike now where she just talks all the time, she wasn't doing anything for the first couple of months. And then I started to feel kind of guilty for wanting to work on my business. And I realized that's just something that comes along that's something that's kind of ingrained in our culture, that there's a lot of guilt associated with motherhood. And I think it's really unfortunate that we don't feel like we have permission to do things that make us happy. And I think that finding things that make us happy is really important, not just for our own sanity, but it's also a really good thing to model for our kids to see. We tell them, oh, you need to eat your green beans or your broccoli because it's good for you. But there's more to taking care of yourself than just eating well. It's exercising and doing things that make you happy and spending time with people. So that was really what was the impetus for me writing my book.
I love it. So for you, balance seems to come through creativity. And that's
Yes.
what ultimately makes you the happiest. And then you've formed this business around what makes you happiest and provides balance for you. It's gorgeous. You've taken
Thanks.
something that, you've done all of your life, which is be creative. And then you've created this amazing, work from home mom business. And so how has that been for you? And how has balance played in with your business and your creativity, being a mom? How does it all play?
It's been really good. I mean, it's certainly a challenge, and I can't say that everything always runs smoothly, but yeah,
right.
like phone ringing when it's not supposed to, or my daughter,
yeah,
or my daughter, not napping when I expect her to, or like I live in the Boston area, and we've had a bunch of snow days in the last month, so not having the childcare that I was expecting because it snowed. So there are certainly challenges along the way, but I've kind of learned to ride along with them. And I think as she's gotten older, it's been easier for me to find that balance because I have more of a sense of what her schedule is going to be like. But, it's just, it definitely took some time to figure it out. But I find that when I can immerse myself in jewelry making, it makes me a better mom because I have that time to really clears out my head. It's very meditative for me in some ways, especially if occasionally I will get a whole day. There's a local jewelry making studio where I'll go work sometimes, and I get a whole day to make jewelry, and it just really clears my head after a long week of taking care of my daughter to just kind of reset me for the upcoming week.
Oh yeah, I love that. And that's kind of how, like for me, blogging and writing was my way of resetting. I was able to be creative through my words. So for me, it was like, it feels good to just get it all out, do something that I enjoy, be creative. And then it's almost like you turn this next page. Okay, now off to being a mom, and
Exactly.
It makes it easier. Totally makes it easier.
Yeah. And that's great that you found that creative outlet for you that kind of helps you with your parenting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what types of tips or advice would you give to moms who who are thinking about turning their love and their passion into a business? Like for you, you've obviously done that. What types of tips and advice would you give to them?
I would say that first don't be afraid to explore different options, but I think it's really helpful when you kind of hone in on what your niche is. And that's something that it's taken me a while to learn. So I didn't really even focus so much on like what my jewelry niche was until 2 months ago. And I feel like it's created so much more clarity for me in thinking about like the type of jewelry I make and how I word everything. I'd say, take advantage of your local network. I've been really fortunate that I've met some amazing moms since I became a mom, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Like I've asked for other moms to help watch my daughter if I have a lot of work to do, and I know they know if they need help that I'm there. For a while, there was a mom that we would trade off childcare. So I'd watch her daughter with my daughter and vice versa. And it was great because it was a play date for them. Like they had a ton of fun. And it almost made watching my own daughter, it did make watching my own daughter in the afternoons easier because she had someone to play with. So I almost got a little bit extra work in even the days I was watching both of them. So if you can have a couple moms who are kind of in a similar situation from you, if you want to start your business and you're a stay-at-home mom, find some other stay-at-home moms and take turns watching each other's kids, even if they don't have their own business to work on. Everyone needs a little breaks now and then. Yeah. So, and it's, especially because childcare can be expensive, and you're kind of caught in this vicious cycle when you're trying to start a business. Like might not have the money to pay for childcare because you're trying to get your business off the ground, but you can't get your business off the ground because you don't have anyone to watch child because you can't afford childcare. So try to be creative in how you find ways to get around that.
So basically find your tribe, find your mom tribe of women who are in the same space as you. Yeah. Who need the same thing, who want the same things.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
exactly. And I talk a little bit about that in the book and some tips on how, if especially if you're new to an area or you don't have family, like ways you can go about finding your local tribe. And it's the same, whether or not you want to start a business, even just finding that time for yourself to do something creative, like you can take advantage of doing a child care swap with another parent that way.
To give you the space and the time, again, to reset.
Yeah, exactly.
And to be back in here.
Yes.
Because I know that when I get to the point where it's like everything, I'm just spread thin, when I just have those few moments to, to come down from all of this, it's like, oh, I'm here now. And I'm able to actually smile and breathe and be present.
Yeah, exactly. Like I can even say today, I was really distracted. I have this like the biggest show I've ever had coming up in a few days. And so I'm excited. I'm also really anxious about it.
Right.
And I was super distracted picking up my daughter today. And then we had to drop off something because I was helping out a local mom who needed some help with something. And it was like, I needed that time to reset. And actually, even though I talk a lot about creativity is important to me, I find doing little things, like I'm trying to make more of an effort to meditate, and I have an app, a Calm app, which I really recommend. So I could feel that I was really kind of out of balance. So after I put it down for a nap before I did the interview, I was like, all right, I need to meditate for a few minutes because I feel so out of whack. And it was just 10 minutes of listening to this app, and it really helped reset me. And I think, especially when you're a mom of a young child, especially, I think when they're starting to learn to entertain themselves, but they still rely on you a lot, it's really hard to focus at any given time. And you kind of need to clear out, like you said, that headspace to kind of be ready to be with them again.
Yeah. And right before this interview with you, I walked out of the room and my son was outside playing with his trucks and Mama, play with me. Mama, play with me. And I was like,
yeah,
baby, Mama's got to do, this, but afterwards I'll come back and I'll play with you. So I, taking those few small breaths to, be able to say, okay, this is what I need to do. This is my priority. And then I can come over here. So, and setting those priorities as well. But, clearing the headspace and breathing and being in the moment so that you're able to be present. I love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I like what you said, you explained it to your son. And I think, again, there's sometimes a lot of guilt attached with they want to play with me right now. But I think even at a young age, they're amazingly understanding and receptive. Might not understand it completely, but I think when you explain it to your child and you show them that this is important to me, and it'll make they can kind of understand in their own way that Mommy needs her time, and then she'll come back and be with me.
Right. Yeah, that's true. They do understand, even though you think they don't. They do.
Yeah. I had this really weird. My daughter is 1.5 years. Last minute, I was invited to be on this like live interview for something. Ooh. And she was really little and it was summertime and I was sweaty and gross because I didn't start out my day expecting to do that. So we ran home for the playground. I hopped in the shower while I fed her and she was really little and I was like, Mommy has something really important. I have this really important meeting on my computer to go to. So I need you to, I don't have time to read to you right now like we normally do. I just need you to go to sleep. And she just kind of looked at me and was like, okay. And we went right to sleep. And she's 1.5 years. And I was like,
wow.
Because it's not something that I would normally do to be like,
yeah.
I think okay, Mommy needs this. She was old enough that she had the receptive understanding, even if she couldn't verbally say, okay, Mommy. But I was
great.
I was really shocked. I was like, oh.
Yeah, you get it. Yeah. Oh, okay. Good night.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. It's almost surprising when the kids are like, okay, Mommy needs space. That means Mommy, I need to go over here for a few moments until Mommy can come over here. And they get it. And one thing I've been practicing is saying something and asking the kids to respond. So, for instance, when we go out to the grocery store and I'm all by myself with both my kids, I'm like, okay, Now listen, use your ears to listen. And we've been doing this practice over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. But and they're now to the point where I say, okay, now listen, I'll turn around and I'll talk to them in the car seats. And they'll say, no running, no yelling. And what else? They say, hold mommy's hand and need to stay with mommy. And so that has been an interesting exercise, because it's like they are receptive. They're like,
yeah,
this is the expectation. This is what what mommy needs, and this is what I need to do. So, and they like that. It gives structure too. So
yeah.
So that's been playing out in my life too.
Oh, that's great.
I love that. I love that she would just sleep. That's just
I know.
awesome.
I can't say that things like that work out so beautifully all the time.
Right.
Most of the time they don't. But I was honestly shocked. Yes, I was very lucky that day.
Yeah, totally.
I think it just plays into like, kids, like they need, like, it's good for them to understand that sometimes we need our space for whatever reason. And I mean, my personal philosophy is it's okay. Like, I feel like I like to talk to my daughter about my feelings, like not place things on her that would be developmentally appropriate, but say like, I just need a little break right now. And I'm going to go in my room and close the door for a few minutes. And she's generally like, okay, because it's not something I do regularly, but I think because when I do it, she can tell that, like, okay, I need to leave mama alone for a couple minutes, and then she'll come back out. And I think,
and then she'll be happy.
Yeah. And I think,
yeah,
I think we're teaching our kids that we're human and that, we're not perfect all the time, that we make mistakes, that we get upset, we yell, but that, or we just sometimes just like they get upset and they need some space to calm down. Like, we need that too. And we shouldn't, I think we shouldn't feel bad about that. And it's a good model for our kids,
It is to show them that we're human, and then that things happen, and then also being able to ask for forgiveness if we do happen to yell or if we do happen to make an oops, because then we're showing that we are human and that it's okay for our kids to be human.
Yeah, exactly.
And that provides balance for all of us within the family unit.
Yes.
I love it. You're so full of knowledge. I love it. Keep going. So Bev, how can moms, how can viewers get in contact with you, find out more about who you are and what you do in the world?
Yeah, so you can go to my website, which is linkator.com. So I know it's a funny word. It's the name of my jewelry business, but it kind of good. So all my jewelry is little links for the most part. So link, LINK, and OUTURE.com. So there you can find a link to my book, you can find my jewelry, and you can find the jewelry tutorials as well.
Cool. Oh my gosh, I'm going to check it out. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I so appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Oh my gosh, that was great.
Thanks.